Greetings everybody, my name is Liam, this is my hobby room, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be taking a look at the Gundam Guys Generation Char Aznable figure. Mega House is a big name in the anime figure hemisphere. I'm not really into anime figures, it's just not my thing. However, if they're Gundam related, then I have a bit of interest. Who doesn't love Char Aznable? He's one of my favorite characters from the whole Gundam franchise. So, we're gonna take a look at this figure. I'm gonna talk about his painting and sculpting and all that stuff. Then I'm gonna pop him on my shelf and you'll see him hanging out in future videos. Boom. And here is a box with a figure in it. I love this character and I thought this would be a fun way to kind of celebrate him. This is probably the only type of anime figure that I'll ever be interested in personally, which is a Gundam figure. He'll be right at home in my nerdy hobby room. So I've got my trusty hobby knife. Let's get this guy open. Sit tight, Mr. Aznable, we'll get you out of there. So here is a little base he can stand on. The airbrushing looks really nice. It's well done. It's very well lit. It looks like it's well lit. That's kind of cool. Wow, okay. He looks incredible. Beautiful work. Now I'm thinking some of these pieces probably come, yeah, it looks like this whole top piece comes off. Oh God, that's horrifying. Oh dear God. His helmet looks great. Oh. We'll just put that back on. The shading looks really, really well done. Wow, really subtle. Lots of great work. So I'm just gonna put him on his stand. Here's the extra arm. Looks like this arm is to hold the stall helm when he's just kind of like, you know, walking around. This, you know, this kind of subtle shade work and stuff, this is the only reason that's ever made me want to get into painting resin figures is I've just wanted to be able to do that. Here is his helmetless head. The skin looks great. I mean, it's kind of goofy looking, but that's because Char without his helmet looks like a moron. So, all right, so let's do some turnaround. Overall, he looks incredible. I'm super happy with this figure. I didn't really, I've seen a lot of pictures of these figures, but I didn't really know what to expect, but in person it definitely has that, the gravitas of that old 70s sci-fi aesthetic that Gundam, the original run of Gundam, is just so full of. I'll do some detail shots in a bit where you can get in close and see hopefully see some of the painting on this figure, but it is fantastic, it really is. I kind of wish you could just buy these figures as resin kits and just paint them yourself. Not because I think I could do necessarily a better job than the people that painted this, but I think it would be a lot of fun. It's my favorite part after all. Oh, Mr. Aznable, you're so handsome with your hair and your eyes. Now, his face sculpt, I think he does look a little more Asiatic than I would have expected, you know, a blonde hair, blue-eyed character to look. I imagine that's because it has been sculpted and painted and designed and whatever by a Asian company, but I always thought Char Aznable was supposed to be European looking, but you know, whatever, doesn't really matter. He still looks fantastic. So both the face sculpts are identical. They are kind of doing the classic Char smirk just a little bit, but it would have been nicer to have, I think, one of them be a little bit more smirky, you know, a little bit more playful. There are a few imperfections here and there in the paint where there's a bit of like messy blotchiness or something. Nowhere that really matters, but it's easy enough for me to just go in and touch that up. I know for some people that's a big no-no for figures, but if you have the skill set, it's really no big deal for someone that builds a lot of plastic models and does a lot of painting. Let's take some pieces off and put his alternate parts on. So we can put his unhelmeted head in there, and then before we reattach that piece, I'm gonna pull off this arm and put this one in there. And that of course is meant to hold his stall helm, or a basketball, whatever you got going on, or his other head if that suits your fancy. I guess it's your figure, you can do whatever you want. You know, I like this look a little more than I thought I would, even though I do vastly prefer it, the helmet being on his head, just it's so iconic for that character. So, yeah, this is also a fun way to display it, but I probably won't be displaying it in this fashion. Mr. Aznable weighs in at just under 10 inches. I don't know if all the figures of this line scale with one another. I'm sure they probably do, but that might be something to look into if you care about that sort of thing. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Liam from Liam's Hobby Room. I hope you guys are staying safe out there. I will see you guys next time. When you say